Okay, so right now I am taking some Got to Be Glue gel in a black bottle, and I am smoothing my client's hair back, her baby hairs back. So now I'm going to be taking my Got to Be Glue spray, and I'm going to be sealing those baby hairs where I put that gel at. And this is going to kind of keep the baby hairs kind of like nice and firm so that I get ready to blow dry. And you're going to blow dry your client's hair until these baby hairs are just nice and firm. Okay, so now I'm going to be applying the cap. I like to use the light brown cap. And this cap right here is better for me to use because you can always change the color while putting makeup on it and applying makeup. And you want to get your client to hold the cap down so that the cap can be as thin as possible while putting down the glue. I like to use Got to Be Glue, the actual gel, and that's kind of like me tracing over her hairline so that I can have the most realistic install as possible. So I'm going to do her whole top with this gel. So now I'm getting ready to cut a hole in each ear so that way I can pull the ears out of that hole so the sideburns can lay as flat as possible, because sometimes a lot of people have problems with them caps. So now this is how you will do that. And as you can tell, it lay very flat where the edges are at the bottom. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to go back in with my Got to Be Glue spray, and I'm going to be sealing. And whenever you're spraying, make sure that you push back so that the spray doesn't go far past the actual hairline that we created. So you're going to be spraying, pushing back, or pushing to the side. Make sure it doesn't drip, because it will drip. And this is going to basically seal the cap. Your client's still supposed to be holding the cap, so that way you have that thin, seamless cap going on. You're going to blow dry it on medium cool, and just blow dry that until you feel like it's at a good little area where it's dry. And then after this, you're going to be sitting your client under the dryer for about good 10 to 15 minutes, so that way that the cap is sealing. I went ahead and put my client under the dryer for 10 to 15 minutes. So now that the cap is nice and dry, I'm going to be going ahead and cutting it to a realistic hairline. And you see how flat that side cut perfectly. And that's because you cut the hole in the ear so that it can lay as flat as possible. So now we're just going to be cutting. So now I'm getting ready to put some Revlon foundation that's true to my client's skin tone just over the cap, so it can kind of give her that like ball cap effect. And you make sure that you're using liquid instead of powder. Some people like to use powder, but I prefer to use liquid because it's going to be the most clearest thing as possible to color that cap. Okay, now that I went ahead and put that makeup on, I'm going to go ahead and put my client's wig on her head. I'm going to have my client assist me by holding it so that we can try to figure out where's a comfortable spot for her to have it on. My client got this unit from LUVME hair. It's a little small for her head, but you're going to see later on in the video where I'm actually going to just cut the cap. Not the cap, but I'm going to cut the band out because it just doesn't fit. Okay, so here I'm actually going to show y'all. This is the band that came with the wig, and it's made the wig too small for my client. So I'm trying to make magic work for a little bit, but further down the line, you're going to see where I actually cut the band because it just did not work, and the frontal wouldn't lay down as flat as possible. So we went ahead and cut it. But you're going to see that further down in the video. Okay, so right now I'm going to use my boho skin protected. My ring light is the bomb, so you couldn't see the sign, but I will have that in the description box below. And this is going to protect the client's skin, so just, you know how most clients have that line of demarcation. Spray a little bit of this on there. Okay, so after I did that with the skin protectant, I'm going to be using my Isha binding glue. I got that from my local beauty supply store. They say it's supposed to be waterproof. It hasn't officially been waterproof for me yet, but it does hold super, super good. I'm going to apply a thin layer starting out, and that's just like from ear to ear, a thin layer. And this is going to be so I can kind of like mold the cap down. You're going to see me taking my rat tail comb and molding that cap down on that first layer until this goes very, very clear. I like to go ahead and apply 3 layers to each client install. And this is just so it can hold very good. I don't think you have to go more than 3 layers, maybe 4, but anything after that is just really excessive. You don't have to do all that, okay? I applied that last layer so it's nice and clear. Make sure that the glue is nice and clear. You're going to pull the lace all the way up. You're going to get your client to assist you because she's going to have to hold certain parts. I like to do the middle first because if you pull straight down and you let go, you might have that little wrinkleness in the top. So make sure that you lay the middle down first because that's the foundation. And I'm just going in very, very slightly with my tips of my fingers. And I'm just placing the... Okay, so now I'm about to take my blow dryer on medium cool, and I'm about to just blow dry the lace. And this is going to be melting. I can't talk today. This is going to melt that frontal right down so that you can get that scalp effect. Please don't burn your client. Do not have it on high. You can put it on medium cool and it will work out just fine. Slightly press the comb in, but don't let the comb sit too long in one spot because it will stick and that whiteness will pull up and it will be seen through the lace. Remember how I said earlier the wig was a little too small for my client, so I was going to cut the band out. Do you see that wrinkle? I'm letting you know that that right there means that the unit is a little too small and that we have to make some small adjustments. I tried to go ahead and save the band, y'all. I really did. But now you're getting ready to see me cut that band because that's the only way that this unit was going to fit on my client. So I pulled the band up, I found out where it was, and I snipped it right on off. Okay, so now that I have the lace where I want it, I'm going to go back in with my Isha bonding glue, and I'm going to lay down the sides that was lifting from where I had to cut the bend in the back of the wig, and I'm just going to clean those up really, really nice. Now I'm getting ready to go in, and I'm actually going to cut the lace. I'm going to move in a fine jagged line because I really had to make her hairline, and I didn't want to have to cut certain parts of the lace back because it was going to look better if I didn't cut it. So now I'm just kind of moving in a jagged motion. And my jagged motion is just kind of fast. You can kind of move, you can do straight, slow jagged, fast jagged. It doesn't matter as long as it's not as straight as possible because you want it to look as realistic as possible. I mean, you already melted it. Why not? Okay, I got that lace nice and cut. Okay. Do y'all see that melt though? I'm going to zoom in. Right now, I'm just kind of fixing the sides because a little bit of the hair came up, and I'm scooting right on out the camera so y'all can see what I'm doing with my big old hat. Okay, so my client wants a beautiful side part to go with her hair. So we're going to go ahead and get this side part together, get this side part right. I have my client bend down because, baby, I'm a little short, but it's all right. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to mold down her hair. I like to use my Nairobi foam wrap, and that's because it doesn't have any alcohol in it, so it's going to be real soft on the hair. It's not going to make the hair hard and nasty. Right now, I'm kind of indecisive of, do I want to do baby hairs? All I'm doing right now is molding. This step right here must be done because you don't want to have so much built up product on the hair. So this right here is a must do. And try not to get so much on that lace because we don't want that lace to lift down her hair. I'm gonna pull out some fine baby hairs. You don't have to pull out a lot because she's plucked pretty nice, so I'm gonna pull out some baby hairs so I can see where I want to swoop her at. And I'm gonna push all those hairs back. That's from me cutting the band, so it's like a lot of excessive hair because, mind you, we made this unit fit for my client. It wasn't true to her size, so right now we moving right along. We moving right along. When I cut my baby hairs, I like to go long, short in a jagged line, so that way I can kind of get a mixture of baby hairs. I don't like to cut one straight length. I'm going to go back in because I'm noticing it's a little too long, so I'm going to go long, short. And by the way, my client is using a HD lace. You cannot achieve this look with one of those dark laces that is gray, that is blue, just dark and ugly. You need it to be as HD as possible, so that way it can look like it's coming out your scalp. Okay, so now we're moving on to the other side. I'm just so proud of this melt. But moving along, we're going to go ahead and pull out some baby hairs. And kind of don't go in a straight line. Kind of like go in a jagged line when you're pulling out baby hairs. Because nobody baby hairs is realistically straight across. So kind of just move the comb going like in and out as you're doing it. And this time, whenever I cut her baby hairs, I'm going to over direct the hair towards the opposite side of her head, and I'm going to cut because we want the shortest end to be at the bottom and we want the top baby hair to be a little bit longer, so that way it's different. So when I got to this side, I realized, I'm going to put a baby hair in the top because it just will look so much better if I had a baby hair right there, because I didn't want to have that big open space. So right now I'm just kind of adjusting my swag, and I'm pulling out a thin piece of baby hair. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to over direct it, and I'm going to swoop it, and we're going to move right along. Y'all, look how flawless my client hair looks. She couldn't even stop looking at it. So I went ahead and had my client pull her hair up in the back because we're going to go ahead and put the scarf down. So that way we kind of cut out the drying time under the dryer. Tie those baby hairs down and move right along. Okay, so now I'm going ahead and using my hot comb to flatten down my client's hair a little bit. Okay, so I got my client's hair nice and flat. We got her scarf on. Right now, I'm just kind of working in some heat protectant. And you can get any type of heat protectant as long as it's not heavy. I like to use some serum, and I got it from my local beauty supply store. This is my favorite. I'm not gonna lie. This is my absolute favorite. Okay, my client wanted some pretty curls, so I took my flat iron and I pulled the side of her hair where her side part was, and I just flipped it straight back, turned and curled, and I did that the whole way throughout her hair, through the whole process. Okay, so I'm done curling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush that I have, like a wide toothbrush, and I'm going to just pull everything straight back, down and straight back, down and straight back. That's it. Nothing special. Okay, so right now I'm going to take my Cara wax stick, and I'm going to go on the sides of her head, the middle and the top of her head, and I'm just going to get it as flat as possible. Try not to use so much of this product because you don't want the frontal to be so weighed down. Try to put very minimum product that you can put on. This is just so when I use my hot comb, I'm melting my client hair all the way down. That's it. Now I'm getting ready to take my hot comb and go on each sides and melt my client. And this is so I can get that scalp effect. I'm just going to melt her down. Melt her down, Scapiana. That's it. So we can have like a flat, seamless look. Okay, so I added the finished touch to my client's hair. I gave her a thumbs up. Sis like her hair. She is bomb. And we moving right along.